guys, it is me, Stace. Today I want to talk to you guys about a project I did in 2014. It was called the Cricut Explorer Holiday Blocks. This is what this looks like, and I will also link the video below. In that video, I share with you guys how to cut and measure wood. Then we painted the blocks, also distressed it a little bit, used the Cricut Explorer machine, cutting out the letters out of cardstock, and then Mod Podged them onto the wood. Really fun home decor item. Doesn't need to be for Christmas, but that's the one I chose to make it for. In that video though, and since then, I've gotten really good feedback, but also questions on how you can make something similar if you don't have access to wood or don't like using wood. So I did come up with another idea. I'm going to scooch those blocks out of the way and bring in these blocks. You can see I have 3 of them here. They spelled the word joy, and the middle one has a bow on it. Now these were all made using the gift box punch board, so they are just paper. And what I like about the gift box punch board, to assemble the boxes, you don't need any glue. So I have the bow here that comes off. You can open up the bottom of the box here and this side, and then you can lay your blocks flat for storage. So it's really fun for if you have a small space, you know, all you're storing is paper basically. And I have the bottom of the box being the open part. And because it is only paper, it is, you know, going to be flimsy. So what I would probably do to display it would open that up, maybe take a little baggie and fill it with rocks or rice or beans, something heavy to give the box more weight so it won't tumble over. But I'm going to share with you guys how to make these 3 and also the bow. And like I said, we're going to be using the gift box punch board. I have the one from Stampin' Up, but We Are Memory Keepers is the maker of these, so you can find them at Joann's or Michael's as well. I'm going to take the scoring cells out and also extend the arm. Now the size boxes I made, I wanted 3 of them to be the same size. So on my inch chart here, I went down to the 10 by 10 size, which is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So you want to start with a piece of cardstock that is 10 by 10. And I'm just using scrap cardstock here. It tells you here your start line and your diagonal line is the letter L, and that means large. So you see here we have the large line and we have a large line here. So you're going to put your paper in, lining it up at that large. You're going to punch and also score down this way, and this way. So each side of the box is going to have 3 score marks. So you're going to line it up at the edge right there and then go to the L on that side. Hold your paper in place, punch it down, hold it. Take your scoring tool that comes with the scoreboard and then score all 3 directions like that. Then you're going to rotate it and do it again. You want to do all 4 sides the same exact way. Line it up at the L. And this is, like I said, for a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 size box. There's all different sizes on here. You know, you can make, if you're doing the word joy, you can make the O, the center one, be a little bit larger. You can also make them be shorter and wider. So we're just going to continue on. And so we have all 4 sides done. This is our last side. So again, you line it up at the L. You're going to punch it, score down, score across, then come back up here at that diagonal line. Okay? And each box will tell you where to start. This is just the one we have. You want to flip it over, line it back up. Usually you see here we only have 1 notch cut out. Line it back up here at your start line. In our case was the letter L. Line it in there and then punch. Rotate it again. And punch. And then again over here and punch. And then our last one over here. Just get it lined up and punch. We're done with this guy. We can put that back in there, otherwise I'll lose it. Take this part, put it back in. Now, just like any kind of punch board, there is that reverse punch. You're going to bring that over this way, line up your corners in there, and punch. And I do find this side a little bit harder to punch. But you want to do all 4 sides. That's going to create that little mouthpiece. That's what I call it anyway. And you want to do this for as many boxes that you're going to make. Okay, in my case, I did 3 of them. Okay, so we are done with that. Now I'm going to take your bone folder and just go ahead and crease on all your score marks. And the biggest box you can make with the gift box punch board is a 4 by 4. So of course you can make your boxes larger than that, or 4 by 4 size. But I like the 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 size I have here. All right, so we have all that. Get this last one. Now we have those diagonal marks. Hopefully you can see that right there. Probably not because there's a really bad glare. Just take your 2 ends and just kind of push it forward and you'll see that. And I'm going to go in there with my fingers and just kind of crease that score mark. Okay, do that on all 4 sides. Just kind of lay it on your table. our last one right here. Okay, so that's what the box looks like. And like I said, there's no glue needed. Just take your two opposite ends that have a little mouth on it, connect those guys like such, and then bring these ones over and connect these ones. This one I find to be a little bit harder to kind of get it in there. Let me get that one back in here. I'm also using a cheaper cardstock. I would recommend using a good quality cardstock like a Stampin' Up! Or Paper Tray ink or whatever cardstock that has a good weight to you guys. All right, then bring this one in. And there we have it, our box. Super cute. Now, if you want to cover your box like I did here, I covered all the sides except for the bottom because you want to make sure we are able to open that up so we can fill it with our items. Just cut your paper down. This is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, so I would go ahead and cut 5 of them that measure 3 by 3 and then cover all the sides. And then, if you're doing 3 blocks, figure out what letters you want to do. In my case, like I said, I did the word joy. And bring all those over here. All right, so now we're going to go to the Cricut Explorer machine, cut out our letters for the word joy, and also make our bow for the top. So stay tuned. Alrighty, at the computer, you want to go to cricut.com/design. You will see this screen, upper left-hand corner where it says account. Click on that to sign in. Enter in your email and your password. When you see your name in that green box, that verifies that you were logged in. You want to come down here and click on where it says Create New Project. Left-hand side toolbar, click on Insert Shapes. Click on the square. And I want my square to be the same size as the paper I'm putting on the sides of the box. In my case, my box was 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So my paper is actually a little bit smaller. So I have my square selected. Go to the right-hand side toolbar under Edit and change the square, in my case, to be 3 by 3. All right, so I have that selected. I'm also going to change the color by going to my Layers tab, click on the square here, and make it be a cream color so you guys can see it. All right, now I want to add text or add the lettering for my words. Left-hand side toolbar, click on where it says Add Text, and I just did one letter at a time. I'm going to click on the letter J, click on my screen, go back to Add Text, do my O, and go back to Add Text, and then do my Y. All right, so all 3 of my letters here, I'm going to take one of them and bring it on top of my box or my paper, and then just resize it how I like it to be. All right, so when you're happy with that size, if you have that side, the letter selected, and go to the right-hand side toolbar under Edit, if you scroll down, you will see the size of your letter. In this case, is 2.77 tall. So I'm going to take this one off, click on each of the other letters, and make them be the same size with the height. So in my case, again, it was 2.77. Do the same thing for this one. Now I'm just going to take each one of them and just kind of put them on my guide there to make sure they fit how I like them. All right, they all look pretty good. All right, now you want to grab the bow. Left-hand side toolbar, click on Insert Images. In the search box, type in the word bow. On the right-hand side of the search box, there's a funnel. Go ahead and click on that. Then scroll down to Type and click on 3D Objects. I'm going to go back to the funnel again, and this time click on Cricut Access. So it brings up all the images that are included in the access plan, but are also 3D bows. The one I chose is down here. If I click on the eye, I can see that it's from Pretty Packages. I will have that number on the screen. I'm going to click on the bow, bottom right, click on Insert Images. And you'll see the bow comes in rather large. I'm going to go to my bottom left of Design Space and click on that arrow to make it be a little bit smaller. Go back and zoom in, and I'll share with you guys how I sized it. Now you'll see here we have our bow. We have the tail end pieces, the top of the bow, and this part here goes in the center. The part here that looks like the bra is the actual bow itself. How I sized it was really a guessing game. I wanted the bow, the one half the bow, to fit on my box. So I think I made this one be 8 inches tall. Let me just double check that. Yes. So I have the end of my bow on the end of my square here, and the center of my bow on that box. That's how I sized it. I mean, it could be a completely wonky way, but that's what worked for me. So if you're making a 4x4 box, for example, let's go back and resize this square, make it be a 4x4. So I would do the same thing. Take the one half of my bra part of the bow, line it up with one half of my box or one side, then click the arrow keys and make it be larger. So in this case, if you're doing a 4x4 box, your bow would be about 10.5 inches. That's how I sized it, but I'm going to go back and make it be 8 inches because that's the size I know I need. All right, we can take that away. and then remove our square. We only use that for a template. All right, top right, go ahead and click on go. Now in my case, how I cut these out, my box was a green color, my bow was also a green color, and my letters were a green color. So I'm able to put them all on one mat. So I'm going to go back and click on the X here, go to my right hand side toolbar and click on sync, then just drag my letters to the green layer. Just do one at a time and we'll see those change. All right, go back up top and click on go. Now I have my lettering and also all of my bow pieces. I'm going to go ahead and cut these out over the table and put the bow together. Alrighty guys, we are back with all of our bow pieces cut out. We're going to work first with the bra piece. I'm going to take my bone folder and just kind of curl a little bit just to get the curl started. I'm going to take some sticky strip. I get this from mademadeit.com. Just take a little piece of this, put it on the back end in the center. Give that a little bit of rub. Take the backing of that paper off, or that tape off. Okay, now you'll see here there's like a little knob on each end. I take that and I center it in the middle right there. And I'll bring that close so you guys can see that in a moment. Just get it centered, then they'll line up like that. Okay, that's kind of how that is. So I have that piece done. Now we're going to take this piece, is going to get glued to this piece, but we first want to take this piece and wrap it around. So to do that, I'm going to take another piece of that sticky strip, put on the back part of the bow here. Again, give it a rub, take the backing of the tape off. Take this piece, start with the front, and then just get it on there straight, and then wrap it around. Okay, just like that. So our bow's done. Then I just went and took like a marker or something to kind of get the curve of my bow a little bit. Okay, so it wasn't so flat. Like that, okay? All right, so now we have this part and then we have these two pieces here. We're gonna take our box, and remember this is the bottom. We have all of our paper on the sides. So I take this piece, another piece of that sticky strip. And my bow is not perfect, of course you guys will spend more time on it. Some sticky strip on the back of that part. Take the backing of that tape off, then stick this to this piece here. Okay, just like that. If you want to, you can have just this bow and have that be on top. It'll look just as pretty, but I want to add the tails. So on the back of this one, again, take another piece of sticky strip, put it in the center, right there, and then give it a rub so your bow stays together. Take the backing of that off. Then these two ends, they have that little knob on them again. Just line them up in the center. And you can give each one a push. All right, so now we have, looks like this. Now to size it, just gonna put it on your box. I'm gonna hold this part down. Finger press where that box is curved or where it's gonna go down at on the side. Okay, and then bring it around and finger press it again. Bring this one around and finger press it again. I'll take my bone folder and just kind of line all these up, make sure they're straight. And give that a crease. Give this edge a crease as well. Now since it is only paper, I probably wouldn't, I probably wouldn't store it. I would probably just dispose of it at the end of the year. But like I said, everything folds flat because we're not using glue. But if I was making them, which I probably will, I'll take this apart and go back in and glue my sizes together so it's a more permanent box. All right, so we have that. I'm gonna just lay that on there. And you'll see here how we have a triangle right there that kind of gets tucked under. You want your bow to go that way. So make sure you put your bow on first before you put your letters on. Otherwise you may end up doing it backwards. And this is just going to get slipped under those tabs. Right there like that. Okay, and I used the contrasting color so you can see how that kind of slides under. And this one as well would get tucked under. If you want to, of course, you can use a glue dot. But there you have it, a really cute box with a bow. Here's the finished one here. I just used, like I said, a green cardstock for my box, green for this part, and also green for my bow here. So it all kind of matches. But again, with the envelope or the gift box punch board rather, you can really do any idea. There's all kinds of sizes. You can do 4x4. You can spell out different letters or different words. The smallest you can make is a 6x6, which is a 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 box. That'll be really cute for a little advent calendar, little advent boxes to set up. But anyway, guys, there you have it. Today's project. Any questions at all, please let me know. As always, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.